This is Pastor Peter Christian Hessing, and thank you for joining me to another one of our interesting, important programs in our 24/7 series and our program on anti nuclear boomerangs, cutting nukes, and shredding nuclear missiles so we can have nuclear disarmament and have peace in the world, save the world from nuclear uh, destruction. And I pray to God that Jehovah God, Yahweh, Allah, Jesus is blessing you, that you are seeking God, and the family and friends and loved ones and children, everybody is healthy and succeeding. A lot of people have difficult times, and I say that we have to keep praying for the poor, by the sick. Those people are in need. And as Jesus says, ask and it shall be given unto you, seek you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. Now, we are approaching a very important, crucial time. Today is actually Thursday. We're November 3rd, 2016, and in about 5 days or so, we're going to have a very important presidential election here in America, where we have to choose a new president and new members into our Congress, House and Senate. So it's a very important time for us here in America, and I really urge and pray that all Americans will go out and vote. This is a very crucial, important election. Very important. Here we're at a very critical, crucial time in the history and history of the world, where we can save the world from poverty and from war and nuclear warfare and global warming, terrorism, from poverty, and have health care for everyone. So it's a very crucial, important time, and everybody really should go out and vote. I live in southern Arizona here, um, and we are border towns. Our town, Douglas, here borders on the Arizona-Mexican border, and this is a very crucial election. I believe thousands of jobs in southern Arizona and in California and in New Mexico, Las Vegas, Nevada, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Colorado, Utah. Thousands of jobs are on the line in this election, and we have two completely different candidates. So everybody should go out and vote. I already voted here. You should really call up your recorder or your board of elections wherever you are. Make sure you are registered to vote. Ask them to send you a mail-in ballot or find a way you can vote. Very crucial election, and I really think that when you look at all the policies, the Democratic candidates have better policies. It's very clear that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats have better policies that can improve our lives. They have better policies to create jobs. They have policies to provide health care for everyone, policies to have education, and to have a free college in the state colleges, help people with education. They have better policies to make peace around the world. And it's very clear that we should definitely go out and vote. And I strongly feel as a pastor, I've been praying about this, that the Democrats of Hillary Clinton have a much better program. President Obama and Hillary Clinton over the past 8 years has been able to rescue our economy from recession and has created 15 million jobs. The democratic policies have grown our economy, has created economic stability and created millions of jobs, whereas the past Republican policies caused a recession and economic meltdown. And we should not gamble and go back to the same old Republican policies that Trump and the Republicans are proposing. Trump clearly um, is doing and proposing a lot of bad things like getting rid of health care. He doesn't want to raise the minimum wage. We have a lot of people here who not able to afford housing. There's a lot of homeless people, people who can't are working 2, 3 jobs and still can't afford to pay um, up a rent. So we definitely need to continue the democratic program of growing the economy and having increasing jobs and raise the minimum wage, have health care. Hillary Clinton is proposing that we improve on the health care system, and we can improve on it. The healthcare program is a big success. We have over 20 million people, poor people who are not able to get healthcare. And you have another probably 150 million or nearly 200 million people who have pre-existing conditions. And this healthcare allows everybody, regardless of pre-existing conditions, to get healthcare. And we definitely should keep the present healthcare system and improve on it, not dismantle it. Republicans are talking about giving tax cuts. And what we really should be doing is giving tax cuts to the health insurance companies and the health providers so that they can reduce the premiums and remain on the exchanges. We have to try and fix the healthcare system, not dismantle it. If you dismantle it, hundreds of millions of people are going to lose healthcare because of pre-existing conditions. 20 million or 30 million or more poor people will lose healthcare. Healthcare is a life and death thing. Everybody needs to have it. And we definitely should not dismantle the healthcare system as Trump and the Republicans are proposing. We have built up to a computerized system that has millions of people, over 20 million people or more, probably over 100 million people or more on a computerized system so that they can get healthcare. Why should we turn it around now and dismantle this system and cause over 100 million people to lose healthcare because they're not able to afford it or because they have pre-existing conditions? So we definitely have to improve on the healthcare system, keep it as Hillary Clinton and the Democrats are proposing, and repair it. We can give health insurance, we can give tax credits and investment credits to the health insurance companies to reduce the cost of the premiums and allow them to stay on the exchange. If we give them investment credits and tax credits to the health insurance companies, that will help them to reduce the cost of the premiums and also to have more of them stay on the exchanges. And this is one of the ways we have to work to improve on the healthcare system, not dismantle it. So I strongly feel that we should all go out and vote here. I'm in Arizona. We do hope that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats can win Arizona and all the other states. There is Nevada, people in California. We urge everybody to go out and vote. It's a very critical and crucial election for us here in these border states because Donald Trump is proposing to shut down the Mexican border, and that is going to destroy millions of jobs because you're going to, by doing that, you're going to reduce millions of jobs for Americans here in America. A lot of the people here who come across those borders, they represent billions of dollars in exports. They buy American products, investors, and there are also Americans who go on the other side to do business. So all these people coming back and forth across the Mexican border, they represent billions of dollars worth of products. They buy American products, whether it's cars or cell phones or food, clothing. It's very important that we improve relations with Mexico. Agree that we have to secure the border to prevent terrorism and drug trafficking. I live on the border, and all these economies, there are hundreds of cities on the border from California to Arizona to Nevada, New Mexico, all over to Texas and into Florida and Alabama. These cities depend on the trade going back and forth. This trade provides jobs for millions of Americans. And if Trump shuts down that border, you're going to have an economic disaster on the border towns from California, Arizona, all the way into Texas and Florida. So it's very important that we go out and vote and elect Democratic candidates and elect Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. So everybody should go. People in Philadelphia, New York. I lived in New York for a long time, New Jersey, Delaware, DC, Maryland. I went to Harvard University and still trying to get my master's degree from Harvard. And all my friends up in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, and all the people going out there will definitely think that what Trump is recommending for America is a disaster. If you try and stop people from coming in and deport 11 million to 60 million people, you're going to destroy a lot of the economy. And a lot of the experts are already predicting that Trump's policy is going to add $5 trillion to our debt. He's going to increase our debt. I mean, Trump has been bankrupt 6 times. He really doesn't care about debt. He just figures that because of his personality, he can force things to happen. And you have to look at economics in a macroeconomic way and microeconomic way. I studied economics in college. I'm not saying that I'm the smartest person in the world, but I studied it. I was an ace economics student in college, and all the experts are telling us that Trump's policies is going to lead to a lot of unemployment. If you shut down the Mexican border, you're going to kill millions of jobs. And if you cut down on this, people coming in, a lot of people coming in, they are investors. I strongly feel that we have to be careful to prevent terrorists from coming in. You have better vetting of people trying to come in from the Middle East and so forth. But the majority of people coming in are not terrorists. He wants to ban Muslims here. He's very much against the trade with China and Asians with China and Japan and so forth. And I agree we must have better trade deals, but Trump has created a very negative and unfriendly business atmosphere. A lot of people don't want to do business with Trump anymore when we got into this election. I don't dislike Donald Trump, but I lived in New York for over 20 years, and we were like next door neighbors to Donald Trump, and we all accepted him and wished him well and wanted him to succeed in his real estate business. So I do not dislike him and family. I like him and his family and kids and so forth. But what he is proposing, if you look at it in real logical economic terms, as Jesus says, the spirit of truth. Look at things in truth. Truth will set you free. God is truth of your. And if you look at it in scientific economically, There is nothing there that will really grow the economy. It's not like Hillary Clinton and the Democrats, where Hillary is trying to be for everybody. She's trying to reach out and help everybody. Yeah, and that will grow the economy. She's reaching out to all the countries, reaching out to all people, whether Christians and Muslims, trying to help the immigrants. There, that will bring people in. A woman who is trying to help everybody, respected with that mother image, will get a lot of support. More than Trump, whose devices he wants to ban Muslims, he wants to deport the 16 million breakup families coming out of South America, theirs, and so forth. I couldn't go to a Trump rally. I mean, if I went to a Trump rally with all my dreadlocks here, and this is my natural hair, I mean, they would look at me and they would throw me out. I'd be beaten, I'd be nearly killed if I went to a Trump rally. So it tells you that we can't have a president that is so divisive. He is so against diversity. So I really hope that everybody goes out and votes. People people in Detroit and in Iowa and Ohio. I did see the World Series. There, people in Chicago, we're very happy that the Chicago Cubs were able to win and break that 180-year drought since they won World Series. It was really miraculous that they were able to win. We're happy for Chicago. I remind all the people there in go out and vote Democratic. I do like Ohio. I like Cleveland. In fact, I was in Cleveland when they built that new Cleveland Indians baseball stadium. So I do like the people in Cleveland, Ohio. I think all of them should go out and vote. People in Maryland, I have family in Maryland. There, DC, Virginia. I have a lot of family out in Virginia, and I go into Virginia. I'm a patented inventor. I have several patent applications, and we go down to the patent office in Arlington, Virginia, to work on our patents and inventions and so forth. As I told you, we have designed anti-nuclear missile system here. I give you just a brief part of it. That can actually, it's an expanding system that can expand and actually take in nuclear missiles that have powered metal cells that cut them off. Once you cut off those nuclear missiles, warheads, then you can boomerang them back and send them back. So we're working on some patents on it, and we're working on trying to get some companies to do it. We have also applied for some international patents on it, and companies around the world to help us build this anti-nuclear protection system so we can get rid of nuclear weapons. With this type of system, it doesn't have any explosives. We don't put any explosives on parts of it. But with this, you're going to be able to have a rail system. You see, once you have a rail system that can protect us from nuclear missiles, we can protect billions of the world population. You can have it in all our major cities, DC, New York, Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Miami, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas. You can have a rail system that can protect us from nuclear missiles. So you can have it in in Europe, London, Paris, Rome, Germany, Munich, there are all these major cities in Oslo, Norway, Sweden. You can have it in Africa, in the Caribbean, Jamaica. By putting it on a rail system without an explosive, you have an expanding system that can be a part of a 24/7 system of inspections and monitoring by the International Atomic Agency and the United Nations. The only way you're going to prevent nuclear warfare and nuclear destruction is by having a 24/7 system of international inspections by the International Atomic Agency to inspect all the nuclear weapons in the world and make sure that no country will launch nuclear missiles. It's the only way that you're going to have it. And we are at a very crucial time here where you have America and Russia confronting each other in Syria. And we really have to try and settle that conflict in Syria by creating a two-state solution and bringing in United Nations peacekeeping force. We're going to have to get a peacekeeping force in Syria and have two states in Syria. So I do go down to Virginia a lot there at the patent office. They're working on patents there. So you just everybody goes out and goes you know. People out in Iowa, Idaho, where I've been through all the states, in Indiana, Indianapolis, there's Sioux Falls, there's Cincinnati, Cleveland, all over there too. All these other states. I lived in Nevada for a while. I have a lot of friends in Nevada. I do work in Nevada. We go back and forth to Las Vegas. We want all the people to urge them to go to Colorado. I've been through Colorado, there, Rocky Mountains, Denver, and into California, Los Angeles, Hollywood. We go to Hollywood all the time. We go to music and videos and so forth. We're over there to Alaska, Seattle, Oregon. We want everybody to go on board. And definitely we're good Democrat. It's very clear with the Democrats. They have a much better point. Republicans don't have anything. There's nothing that the Republicans have to offer. And I'm not pastor. I'm an independent. I'm not Democratic or Republican, but I'm independent. But if you ask them, what do the Republicans have to offer? It's nothing. They control the Congress and they won't pass anything. There's just gridlock in the Congress. So we need to build a more democratic senators and congressmen into the Congress so we can be more progressive and improve on health care, have education for everybody. Have jobs, raise the minimum wage. There's a lot of things here, global warming. Trump does not believe in cleaning up the environment. Trump doesn't believe in climate change. He wants to allow all the companies to go back and pollute and so forth. We have to deal with global warming because we have a lot of pollution. The ocean levels are rising. President Obama has made great progress on the environment, and we have to keep those international agreements to reduce emissions and to reduce the rising sea levels. As I've been saying over and over, what we really need to do is to get the oil companies to purify the ocean levels and make clean, healthy water from the ocean levels. The oil companies have all the resources, the barges, the pipelines, the storage capacity. They can purify the ocean levels, reduce the ocean levels, and sell that water. In fact, they probably will make more money from purifying and reducing the ocean levels than from drilling for oil and gas and fracking. And the oil companies, they are all reporting lower quarterly profits. They're trying to cut that because their profits are going down. The price of the oil and it's going down, and they're being affected. So I think we need to really elect a Democratic administration, support Hillary Clinton, and have a new energy policy, a new environmental policy that you can encourage the oil companies, say to them, okay, we're giving you a lease to drill for oil, but we want you also to to reduce those ocean levels. Companies can we can create a safe technology where they can purify the ocean levels and reduce the ocean levels there. So I generally believe Democrats have a much better um, program than the Republicans. Everybody should go out and definitely vote there. So we've had a lot of incidents also. We've had this FBI Director James Comey. They're trying to dig up this email scandal again, and that is very inappropriate and wrong. In every democracy, the um, FBI or the police or the military, they should stay out of presidential and political campaigns. You can look into all the democracies, whether it's Canada, Britain, or France, or Germany. You don't hear of the military um, and the secret police trying to get into election. In Jamaica, I was born in Jamaica, and you never really see the Jamaican police or the Jamaican military trying to get involved in a general election in Jamaica. You're impartial. You stay out of, um, of politics, and this has been a tradition of the FBI. But this FBI director, Mr. James Comey, has broken that tradition, and he is trying to do something that's very inappropriate. He's trying to determine the election. We really need to get a new FBI director there who will focus on real crimes. He is trying to start a probe after he and Loretta Lynch cleared Hillary Clinton from this email fiasco. He's trying again to reopen it days before the election. That is completely inappropriate. It is wrong. It's completely wrong. It's wrong and inappropriate. You really can't uh, have as the Constitution says, you can't have a double jeopardy. You can't try somebody twice for the same offense. So it is very wrong what James Comey is doing, and it's very sad. I respect him. I like him as a Christian, but I really need to have a new FBI director. I think Mr. Comey should resign, that President Obama and Loretta Lynch and the Republicans and Democrats should find a new FBI director who can be impartial and stay out of politics. The FBI was really created to focus on real threats, murders, bank robberies, terrorist threats, assassinations, terrorism, nuclear attack, nuclear terrorism, robbers, rapes, serial killings. We have serial killers probably in every state of America. We have a serial killer out here in Arizona, in Phoenix, where I live, killing people they can't find, they can't catch the murderers. We have serial killers out in New York, out in Long Island, killing women, leaving their bodies on the beaches in Long Island. And here's the FBI director digging into harmless, irrelevant emails and trying to influence presidential election. Is completely inappropriate. And we all should tell Mr. Comey to resign and have President Obama and the Loretta Lynch and the Republicans and Democrats choose an FBI director who will protect us against real threats. They're terrorists, though they're trying to destroy our country. We know that you're going to have more mass shootings by terrorists. We have policemen being shot down. A couple of days ago, 2 more policemen were killed. Were killed there in Iowa. And you had some cops being shot down in Dallas. No, the police, the FBI should be focusing on real crimes. Not digging up into irrelevant emails, trying to go after patriotic Americans who are trying to protect us. Here is our Secretary of State and the people working in our office trying to protect Americans. Now here's the FBI trying to destroy and waste millions of dollars on investigating patriotic people working for a government while terrorists around the world are cutting off people's heads and hands and feet. We have ISIS killing people. We have millions of refugees having to flee their homes in Iraq and in Syria, drowning in the Mediterranean. And here's the FBI director digging into harmless, irrelevant emails. We have people in Africa being enslaved and terrorists out there in Kenya and Somalia and Libya. They're cutting off people's hands and feet and heads. And we have someone over, a dictator over in North Korea, trying to build a nuclear bomb to bomb us here in America. And the FBI director is digging into harmless emails. I mean, it's ridiculous. You really need to say to Mr. Comey, sir, please resign. Let us get an FBI director who will focus on real threats. You have this, here is a Hollywood celebrity, Kim Kardashian. She can go to Paris and they can rob her at gunpoint. What does the FBI director do? These are things that he should be doing. If the FBI director and Interpol had gotten together, and all the people in Hollywood and saying, "Oh, we're going to catch these people," and put up a reward, put up some money, a reward for those people who robbed Kim Kardashian. By the next day, I guarantee you, by the next day, they would have caught those robbers who robbed Kim Kardashian. And other celebrities also have been Drake and his people were in Arizona a couple of weeks ago performing, and they robbed Drake and his friends millions of dollars in jewelry. And you might say these celebrities are millionaires and they can afford their own security, but the FBI has to focus on real threats. We have blacks being shot down by cops. I have nearly been killed half a dozen times by the police. And I have a clean record. I've never been convicted or imprisoned. You have all these unarmed people there, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, all these people being shot down. The FBI should be dealing with those issues. And I've been proposed to President Obama. I wrote to President Obama about having a 24/7 system of monitoring and inspections by the FBI and the Justice Department with a 24/7 daily review, so that you prevent innocent people from being shot down. So we really need Black lives to matter, all lives matter. But the FBI should be focusing on stuff like that, preventing cops from being shot, the cops being slaughtered. 5 in Dallas, 2 more yesterday in Iowa. All these unarmed blacks being shot down. These are things that the FBI is supposed to be focusing. He is focusing on harmless emails, James Comey, that and trying to influence a presidential election. This is unprecedented. Mr. Comey is trying, he has abused his office. He's trying to set up himself as an FBI, as some kind of dictator in a police state. We here in America, we are not a police state. We are a free democracy with laws. The Fourth Amendment is very clear. it says you can't have unreasonable searches and seizures. Now, a lot of what he's doing is unreasonable searches and seizures. The Constitution is clear in the Fourth Amendment. It says you cannot have unreasonable searches and seizures. A lot of these investigations that he's doing is unreasonable. I agree that we have to prevent cyber terrorism, and we have to have a strong presence in cyberspace. Therefore, everybody now uses emails. You can't just say, okay, because somebody has an email, something is wrong. Everybody now uses emails. Emails have become the main form of communication for families, children, and parents, and every company now you work for uses emails. Every institution now uses email, business, everything. So you can't just try to make big propaganda as the Republicans have done and make a big scandal because somebody is using emails. Our Secretary of State is our first line of defense. They have to negotiate with Russians, the Chinese, any international crisis, whether it's in the Middle East, in Israel, or in Iraq, or Afghanistan, or in Korea, or in Cuba. Our Secretary of State is our first line of defense, and it's very unfair to try and penalize the Secretary of State by using emails. And I agree that she should be careful in using classified information. But the government system that she would have used was hacked 1 billion times. But we are very lucky that she did use a private server. I'm saying that she should not use a private server, but in a way, we are sort of lucky because her private server was not hacked. Whereas the system, the government system that they want her to use was hacked 1 billion times by the terrorists and the Russians and the Chinese and the Koreans and the Iranians. So in a way we have to be sort of lucky that she did use a private email server because the government system was hacked by the terrorists. And I agree we have to scrutinize it. I'm not justifying that she used the email server, but in a way you have to really, if you realize that the government system was hacked 1 billion times, I'm not justifying the use of a private email server, but a lot of what Comey and the Republicans and his investigators are doing it's unnecessary. It's a fiasco. They're trying to create a scandal to influence the elections, and the FBI stays out of election. Mr. Comey has abused his power. As they say, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. So I urge everybody to go out and vote Democratic. I hope we can get a new FBI director who will focus on real threats to our country. Comey is really, we are losing with Comey because he's not protecting us. He's not going after real threat, nuclear terrorism, nuclear warfare, real serial killings, serial murders, drugs, assassinations, terrorist plots. He's not really focusing on that, and we are being vulnerable because Comey isn't focusing. He's focusing on a harmless, insignificant email system, and everybody knows you use it. So go ahead and vote. I'm on the border here, and we're on the border. This is, just a small idea. This is the border here. We're in Douglas, Arizona. We're on the border here, and you have all the small towns there, Springville and Bisbee, and in Elkhart and Sierra Vista. You have hundreds of towns from California, in San Diego, Arizona. You have Nevada, Las Vegas. You go across into Mexico to Texas, there, Brownsville and Laredo, and El Paso, Juarez, towns all the way across the Miami. And if Trump shuts off this border to Mexico, you're gonna kill thousands, if not millions of jobs. You're gonna have an economic disaster in the southern United States, half of the economy. So, to me, I'm not trying to be, dramatic, But to me, as a person who lives on the border, it's a threat. You have to protect against it first. And I said, why gamble with Trump? If he closes off the border, you're going to kill hundreds of thousands of jobs. Old town, many of these towns are depending on people going back and forth. You got Americans who go across the border, you have Mexicans that come here, you got a lot of trade, you got billions of dollars. Anytime they come across and buy, whether it's food or clothes or cars or computers or whatever, those are exports. Exports going out. If you close it off, you're going to kill a lot of jobs. Most of these towns here, we have like on the border, like in Douglas, we have a Walmart, there's Burger King, there's cars, there's all these other businesses, there are churches. And if you shut off this border, you're going to kill thousands and millions of jobs, and it's going to crash the economy. Once unemployment rate goes up, then you're going to crash the real estate market because people don't have jobs to pay their rent and mortgage. You will crash the real estate market, and then once the real estate market goes, then your banking and all your financial, all your Wall Street financial stock markets are going to crash. So what Trump is really recommending is really a disaster. The experts keep telling me, you're trying to deport all these people, you're going to enter the country there. So I don't think we should take a gamble with Trump. I think we're much better off staying with Democrats and Hillary Clinton because they're growing the economy, jobs are increasing. The Trump Massachusetts, our town where I live, we have Douglas and Prettyville. I mean, a lot of these towns are just going to be ghost towns. A lot of them already, they claim that they are fearful that Trump is going to go in, and some of them are closing up already. Investment or some of the places have a high vacancy because they fear that Trump is going to win and he's going to cut off the trade. So it's very important that we all go and vote Democratic. Their names, put more Democrats. We can take back the Senate and Congress. I'm really a pastor. I really try not to get involved in politics, but when I sit down and look at all the policies, you have to make a moral position to examine it and look at it in a truthful way, as Jesus said. You must have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is truth. So peace and love, we have to definitely bring Muslims and Christians and make peace with the Russians and the Koreans and the champion everybody together. Bring Republicans and Democrats together. When the election is over, whenever the Democrats or Republicans, they all have to come together and love one another, revere and work together. I'm going to just read you a passage from St. John 14 where Jesus says, let not your heart be troubled. Believe in God, believe also me. In my Father's house are many dwelling places. If not, I would have told you. I am going away to prepare a place for you. And if I go away to prepare a place for you, I will come back and receive you to myself, so that where I am, you may be there also. So Thomas said to Jesus, well, we don't know where you're going. How can we know the way? And Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So here Jesus said that if we turn to God, or Allah, or Jesus, or Yahweh, they can help us and we can have truth. So everybody goes out on the board. As Pastor Peter Christian Hessling, give your hearts and life to God in Jesus. Let's bring Christians and Muslims and everybody together. We hope and pray for the people in Iraq and in Syria that we can have peace there and end the conflict there and save the civilians, save everybody. We bring Sunnis and Shiites and Kurds and all the people together for peace. Look for my book coming out 24/7, Safety Inspection, Safety of the Nuclear Weapon. I have some music in Tidal, iTunes. Thank you for this. This be the presidency. Peace and love. Go out and vote. Vote Democratic. And let's hope that Hillary can be our first woman president. Peace and love.